The Somali community in Minnesota is up next. Up next on the ICE deportation list that Donald Trump has just signed off on. Now you have Congresswoman Ilhan Omar asking for help, and foundational black Americans are again not present.
The price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Welcome, my brothers and my sisters. I'm your brother Afro leading down. Before we get started, very important. I want to make sure that because we are doing this live, I did do an audio test. Tried to make sure I spent the time to make sure all of my audio issues were taken care of. I actually didn't change anything. I just did it and it worked now. So is my audio good before we get started? Because we got to cook. So before we get started, if my audio is okay, if it's good, just put the thumbs up emoji in the chat room and we're going to get started. All right. So just let me know. Let me know that if my audio was fine. And we're going to get started. Okay. Hear me loud and clear. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate you so very much. So, Somalians, not in good position right now. Not in good position. They are next up on Donald Trump's hit list. Okay, as far as Donald Trump is concerned, Somalians gotta go. All right. Now, Donald Trump and Congresswoman Ilhan Omar have not had the best relationship at all. Ilhan Omar does not like Donald Trump whatsoever, and Donald Trump feels the exact same way. And now the situation has come about where he is now going after the Somali community. And let's be honest, the Somali community has done some things that has put them on the hit list. And then we're going to get to their relationship with Foundation Black Americans because that's why we're here, right? That's why we're here. We're here because of that. So, without any further ado, let's get into it because Donald Trump has claimed that they need to go off of scams that they commit and fraud that they commit. Now, the thing is that the left stream media and the right stream media they have their biases, but I'm gonna give you the impartial news. Is every single person from the Somali community one way? No. Is every single person from any community one way? No. Is there legitimacy in saying that there are Somalians in the not Arizona, Minnesota community scamming? Yes, there is. All right. To say, well, if you're saying they're scammers, that's racist. Okay. Well, I want you to see this before we get into it. So let's look at the news. Let's look at what's being said, and we're going to go from there.
We turn now to President Trump's latest attacks on Somali immigrants in Minnesota. About 84,000 people of Somali descent live in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. The president says he doesn't want any Somalis living in the U.S. after a few dozen were implicated in a COVID relief fraud case. We get more on this from Jonah Kaplan of CBS Minnesota.
Minnesota is reeling from a fraud scandal involving $1 billion siphoned from multiple federal programs during the COVID pandemic. In the past 3 years, 87 people have been charged, 61 convicted, most of Somali descent. Erica MacDonald was U.S. Attorney for the District of Minnesota during the first Trump administration. What happened in Minnesota where fraud was able to run rampant that it didn't in other states?
Lack of accountability, frankly. We knew that fraud occurs, and there's warning signs that come with it, and they were ignored in this case.
According to investigators, the schemes involved bogus receipts and invoices for meal programs, housing assistance, and behavioral health services, charging the state millions for services that were never provided.
I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars.
The president lashed out at Minnesota's Somali community during Tuesday's cabinet meeting at the White House, saying he doesn't want them in the country and called them garbage.
I think it's a beautiful country.
Jamal Osman, who moved from Somalia to Minnesota when he was 14, is a naturalized U.S. citizen and a member of the Minneapolis City Council.
Anyone who looks like me are scared right now.
The fear comes as the Somali community here is bracing for a surge of ICE agents cracking down on migrants who've been issued final deportation orders. The president is pointing to the fraud cases in Minnesota, and we know that a majority of the suspects are of Somali descent. How is your community taking that?
Well, my community is upset. Yes, people commit crimes, but the entire community should not be blamed based on what some individuals did.
Some House Republicans on an oversight committee in Washington announcing in a news release they're launching their own investigation into the allegations of fraud and accusations that some of that money could have been funneled directly to terror groups overseas. But I spoke with a number of federal investigators, and they tell me there is no evidence that that happened. Instead, the fraudsters allegedly stole the money and kept it for themselves and spent it on things like cars, houses, diamonds, and so much more.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Somebody said, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country is no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too. I can say it about other countries, too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Iham Olmar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain, and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
Okay, so there you have it. Okay, I let you play that. That was Trump's full reaction. Trump said that. He said, hey, you know, he doesn't like Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar is an issue for him. And Trump has felt like that. And Trump, you know, Trump has disliked Ilhan Omar for the longest time. Now, Ilhan Omar did have something to say. She's been going around saying some things about it. So we're going to play that for you just so you can understand exactly where we are with everything. So let me get that up, pulled up for you guys. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, there we go. This is what Ilhan Omar had to say. She had a couple of clips, and I'm going to play those clips for you.
I'm not shocked because we know that the president oftentimes resorts to very bigoted, xenophobic, Islamophobic, racist rhetoric when he is trying to scapegoat and deflect from the actual failures that he has himself. We know that this administration has not fulfilled the majority of the promises that they've made, whether it is bringing costs down, whether it is the tariffs that are decimating businesses in the United States, whether it is the possible war crimes that his defense secretary is committing. And so to me, it is important for us, one, to remind folks that we are Americans. We're not going anywhere, and we will continue to be in this country. And two, that Minnesotans are resilient, and we will continue to thrive. I'm not shocked because we know that the president oftentimes resorts to very bigoted, xenophobic, Islamophobic, racist.
Okay. Okay, come on. Get off the screen, man. Let me get on the screen and talk to y'all. So there you have that. Now, she goes on to say some other things about it. Now, Trump says he doesn't like the fact that they're over there doing all that scamming, and they were. And this is what we talk about a lot. And let's not forget. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna save that because I really want to get in. I'm gonna save that for last. I'm gonna save that for later. Okay. Let me talk about that a little bit later because I was about to go into something, but I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. I just want to get Ilhan Omar's response out the way because she goes on a couple of different things and she talks about that and talks about Trump's attacks and things like that.
We know.
And of course, you got the Democrat shills who are out there being all like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's attacking all these immigrants and stuff of the sort." Okay, come on, we got a couple more because we got to get into it. I just want to give you the full context of it, so nobody can say I'm taking things out of context.
Know that
This is
he
very important.
called African nations a shithole in his first administration. We know that when he came down that escalator, he said he was going to stop Muslim immigration into this country. And so it is not surprising that he is going after black immigrants in this country. And it's certainly not surprising that he's choosing a black immigrant community that is also Muslim. But what I would like to say is that most of us are citizens. On our passport, it says we are nationals of this country. We love that Minnesota has welcomed us. Many of us have not been settled in Minnesota. We chose it as a home because the Minnesota people and the state is beautiful and very welcoming. And we are going to be here regardless of what the president has to say.
That's not fully true. That's not fully true. They didn't choose Minnesota as a state because Minnesota is just so welcoming and all that. Most of these people who are Somalis, because there are some new Somali immigrants, but most of the Somalis that they're referring to right now, these are the ones that came around 2000, 2001-ish during the Somali Civil War as refugees, and they've been finessing really the refugee status. So a lot of them are coming over claiming to be refugees, and they were forced to go to Minnesota. It's not like they picked Minnesota out of some form of patriotism. That's literally not what happened. But of course, you have, Angela Yee and all of them. They're out there. They're doing their thing. Let me show you. They had Ilhan Omar on their platform to talk about the situation. So you got to pull that up because you already know that anything that helps an immigrant, they're going to be there in support of. So hold on. Where is it? Where's that clip? Okay. I'm only going to play a very small amount and I'm going to speed it up because it is fair use. Fair use. Fair use. Okay. But I just want to show you a bit of it. Fair use, though. Fair use. Okay, here we go. If you don't pull up, come on now. All of these people waiting.
United States had this to say about Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and members of her community, the Somali Americans who live in Minnesota.
Barely a country, they have no anything. They just run around killing each other. There's no structure. And when I see somebody like Ilhan Omar, who I don't know at all, but I always watch her for years. I've watched her complain about our Constitution, how she's being treated badly. Our Constitution, the United States of America, is a bad place. It hates everybody, hates Jewish people, hates everybody. But when I watch what is happening in Minnesota, Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country is no good for a reason. Their country stinks. When they come from hell and they complain and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
God, I hadn't seen that whole thing.
Yeah, I thought it was important to show as she still lets her light shine, despite what Donald Trump is saying. Congresswoman, I don't know you to be anything but a loving fighter. And it is so immensely frustrating to watch that take place in a cabinet meeting this week. What's your response to Donald Trump and the cabinet members who sat there as he went on this very dangerous, hateful, xenophobic tirade?
Racist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a bigoted fool. It's just the level of bigotry, xenophobia, Islamophobia. It's hard to understand how somebody can hold that much hate in their heart and still be able to call other people hateful. It's also, I think, really creepy to have this level of obsession with somebody that you haven't met.
That's real. I wonder, Congresswoman, how do your constituents, your neighbors, and friends in Minnesota, I mean, I know Minnesota to be quite an incredible state, led by some pretty incredible people, yourself included, generous folks, good in spirit, good in heart, very honest. I mean, I don't want to over dramatize this, but really, I've had a lot of experiences and met a lot of people from your home state. I fundraised there before. It's a good place. I wonder, how do your constituents respond? Everyday laypersons who don't have your experience with Donald Trump, right? He's the president of the United States. How do they reflect on that?
They've responded the only way Minnesotans know how to respond. They've responded with kindness, with love, with compassion. Prince is from Minnesota and once said, it's Minnesota nice, but it's cold and it keeps the bad people away. And so, we don't like hate in Minnesota.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the questions that I had is that people always see you with a national profile, but oftentimes you have really, really good members of Congress like yourself, and they don't know the successes and the tangible things that you've brought back to your district, brought back to Minnesota. When we're going out there fighting for you, tell us, what are some of the things that you've done in your legislative career for Minnesotans? And disregarding that national fervor, that push against you, how you've still been successful in bringing it home, to steal a word from Andrew Gillum for Minnesota.
I appreciate that question. During COVID, I passed my Meals Act that helped feed 22 million children across the country and in Minnesota. I've also been able to bring back $46 million to invest in multi-family units, to create an entrepreneurial community kitchen for the Black community in my neighborhood, in my district, that have that entrepreneurial spirit. We've invested in essentially ending homelessness for veterans in Minnesota. So there's a lot of really good work that we have been able to do since I've been in Congress in 2019.
I want you to go, but I got to bring this up since you just brought up COVID-19. We, of course, are aware of the fraud that Donald Trump talked about at the cabinet secretary meeting. 80,000, at least, Somalis in Minnesota, and there have been 75 people indicted in association with a COVID-19 fraud scheme. The leader of that is someone that they have somehow decided to shield. Amy Bach, who is the Feeding Our Future executive director and founder, is a white woman, but somehow this became a Somali-led fraud. So I would love for you to debunk some of what has been widespread over the last several weeks, as if this hasn't been prosecuted since the Biden administration. But if you could talk a little bit about the truth around that case and why they're targeting Somalis, this is such a dangerous thing to be doing right now.
Yeah, as you alluded to, the ringleader of the fraud scheme and the person who helped make that fraud a reality, unfortunately, in our state, is not Somali. It's a Caucasian woman. We've also had others that have been indicted as well that are not.
I want to pause that. Do you guys understand? And this is why I want you guys to understand this. And I let that play for a long time so you can get the full context. This is why the dominant society and all these white liberals want these immigrants over here. We were dealing with the same situation in Chicago with the Venezuelan immigrants, and there was a very same situation in California with those immigrants. Let me break this down, because this is how they do a lot of the crime. This is why they're always against ICE and fighting for ICE, and you have to think about what would it benefit them, because we all know the dominant society, those folks, they don't do anything unless there's something in it for them. So what's in it for them? What a lot of them do is that these refugees, these immigrants that are coming over here, they will use them as henchmen for a criminal organization. It happens in Chicago, it happened in LA, it happened in California. Now, what they're saying is actually accurate. What they're saying is actually true. That's what they do. It is white people sitting at the top who the media never criticizes. The media never gets to that. The media doesn't really put them on blast and condemn them. They will condemn the henchmen, but that does not change the fact that they are the henchmen. And this is why when you see the ICE protests and you see all these white liberals out there being like, no, ICE, immigrants built this country, man, let them stay. They want them to stay because those are the henchmen. These are the people who got little ties to the government programs and work with Section 8 and get little grants and benefits. I'm telling you, these people are the plug, and they want these immigrants to come over because the immigrants are going to do a lot of their scamming and dirty work. Now, the dominant society knows, like, hey, Bob Richardson is not going to be able to sign up for this welfare program, but he can get Mr. Somali over here to do that. He can get Mr. Venezuelan over here to do that. He can get Mrs. Mexico over here to do that. And all of the, I will organize this crime, and you guys will come over here and I will protect you. A lot of that goes on, and it's been going on for a very long time. This is why you see the white liberals who don't care about reparations, don't care about black people, but are on the front lines for immigrants. This is why. Because the immigrants run around being their henchmen. That's why. And I wanted you to get that, I wanted her to get that part out. But she's on that, and they're talking about the dangerous things. And Ilhan Omar is saying that she's being targeted because she's black and all of this. Now, okay, Ilhan Omar is a Somalian woman. All right. And of course, Angela Yee and all of them, they're going to be against anything and everything that Trump does. All right, we understand that. But let's get to our relationship with the Somali people, because there's this one thing that I want to get through. Okay, I saw this one video on YouTube and I thought that this was very interesting. I saw there was a podcast of some Somalians and they were talking about Somalis not being black because, truth be told, to be honest with you, with the exception of damn near the Dominicans, there's not a single melanated group of people who likes to disclaim their blackness other than Somalis. The only people I can honestly say that rival Somalis with the "I'm not black, don't call me black" are Dominicans. Those is Dominicans and Somalians are the top two, and they be competing with each other. I would give it a little bit to the Dominicans. The Dominicans are a little bit known for it. So the Dominicans kind of got the edge. They're like in first place. Second place, very close second place, are Somalis denying being black. Well, you can very rarely find a Somali that's like, yeah, I'm black. Well, they deny being black very much so. Okay, not nearly as much as the Dominicans though, but Somalis really do. Okay. Now, when it comes to the whole "they not black" thing, now they want to turn it. I saw this podcast. They want to switch it and make it seem like, and this is something that we're seeing a lot of
Show.
immigrants do.
Young Spring. RTM Podcast Show.
If you don't stop Plaza, they're switching it and trying to make it seem like the reason why they denied being black is because foundational black Americans never accepted them, and foundational black Americans always bullied them. I'm trying to get to this point exactly right here. Let me pull this up for you guys. I want to get to this point in particular right here. We'll just play it right here because it's hard to get this whole thing. This whole podcast is almost 5 hours long. It's literally long as hell, almost 5 hours. So I want to get to this part real quick.
I think a lot of people just think that about
because they accents. Sometimes if you speed it up, if they got an accent, you can't hear anything. It sounds like gibberish. So I want to slow it down for you guys. Here it is.
If you're too dark, it's mad.
Nah. It's not even like that because you find
It's been one.
Somalis.
This is what I'm trying to work out.
Yeah. Nah, do you know what it is?
What is the difference between a black man and a Somalian?
Look. I'll tell you the truth. Where it stems from, that whole, like, I don't know deep in, but okay. But I know a bit of it. Like back then when like, I don't know if it's happened to every Somali, but most Somalis, like, they were separated from like the black guys and stuff. They'll be like,
oh, if you're black.
No. But look. I'll tell you.
I know what he's talking
like,
about.
Man, them will cuss you, say, or like they will end this with like, you're Somali.
Big up,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And it made us feel like, bro, like, we're all one. Like, what do you mean you're Somali? We're all African at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Because when you first landed,
when you now say to someone, when you now, bro, man, they used to end this. Like, this used to be crazy. Like, man, them would end this. Like,
we weren't.
They were losing.
You be cussing someone. People, you weren't accepting Somalis as black people. Yeah. Like, tell the truth. When they first landed, we was being.
Yeah.
You're old enough to know that we was being funny. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We was getting done up.
I understand it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like we was like, oh, our Somalian family.
Nah, that's what I'm saying.
We was with
that's
that
where it
side
stems from. So Marley's had to chill with Marley's.
You know what I'm saying? I get it.
So Marley's found peace chilling with Marley's type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So
I just didn't think of it.
We're thinking, oh, we could vibe with every black man because we're all black at the end of the day. Because we know that.
Did you ever think that though? This is what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, you can clearly tell they're not speaking. They're speaking with British accents, so they're not even in the States, and they're talking about, well, it was black people, and black people didn't want to be with Somali people, so Somali with Somali people. No, that's not what it was. That's not what it was. They're trying to reverse history. This is history revisionist because the narrative of you not black no more. Now all of a sudden everybody wants to be black. All of the people who used to deny being black want to be able to claim being black now. Now everybody has to go back in time and sanitize the history, or at the very least give some form of a rationale as to why they used to deny being black, because the receipts is out. I'm gonna tell you right now, the Somalis and the Dominicans, y'all really cooked. Y'all really cooked. A lot of y'all was cooked as far as the several of y'all not claiming black, okay? Come on now, y'all cooked. So the Somalians trying to go back and do some splaining on why the Somali community didn't claim being black. I don't even know why they speaking on the situation. They not from the states. They look young, so it's not like they grew up someplace else and they were raised in the states. If y'all in the states now, y'all ain't been in the states for long. Y'all speaking on issues in America. Y'all not even in America. Y'all trying to sanitize and say we didn't mess with y'all because y'all was Somali. No, no. And this is what this is what all of them are trying to do. Say that we were the bullies. We were the ones picking on them. We were the ones messing with them. We were the ones doing this and doing that. That's not true. It's not true at all. Okay, that's not true. Oh, we was picking on no, and y'all had to stick with Somalis. That's not right. And we're gonna bring up receipts. Y'all don't claim being black because y'all don't want to. It's not because we were so unwelcoming to y'all. That's not what it was.
School people would end this like you be roasting
Remember,
someone.
he's
they'll end
younger
this
though as
with,
well.
Yeah, but this happened generations
No,
as
but
well.
I'm saying,
yeah,
I'm talking to Kron, innit?
like school
You
people
know,
would
our
end this with like, yo, you're
generation, you can
Somali.
understand what I'm talking
But you
about.
see, there was a
You
lack
know,
of
like-
there's a lot more communication in this generation. So I'm trying to see. So how come the thought pattern's still the same? It's slightly there. Like
know what it
as
is? We're
in,
prideful
there's a
people.
difference. If you're black here, you're black.
Yeah.
Yeah. So someone saying they're Jamaican, they still know they're black.
Yeah.
I can't. If someone said to you, "Are you Jamaican or black?" You can't pick
But
one.
back in the day, even the Africans and even the Africans and the Caribbeans, like,
no,
we
but
was
understand
black.
the logic of what I'm saying. No, but wait. Understand the logic of
that.
what I'm saying. If someone says, "Are you Jamaican or black?" you cannot pick one because you're both.
Yeah.
So if you ask him, "Are
Not
you
Wayardi.
No, but no, wait. Yeah, but that will be his answer.
No, but you get what I'm saying.
I'm knowing that.
He's not
no,
black.
but
He's-
listen.
But what about the Indians that live in Jamaica?
You get what I'm saying?
That have been born in Jamaica and they're
I'm
Jamaican?
You're going mad.
asking-
You could
I
definitely
am
be Jamaican and
asking
not black.
On the strength of
So the
when I
logic
asked
mad.
him, is he Somalian or black? He said, I'm Somalian.
Yeah, the first
So
thing
he
I would say
left
is
black
Somali.
to the side. So I said, how? If I can't leave black to the side.
No, do you know what it
Am I
is?
Dominican or black?
Do you know what it is?
Let me
I'm
help
Dominican.
you, bro. Yeah, I'll tell you where the problem is. Yeah, like you see us as black people. Yeah, sometimes we still got that field N-word and house N-word mentality in it. Yeah, and obviously for all like the Marley brothers that are still holding on to that what happened back then. Yeah, I think they need to let go of it, and I'm gonna explain to you why. Yeah, it's happened to bare different people. So like Spray was saying, when man first come over here, and there weren't a lot of Congolese people, and there weren't a lot of African
Africans
people,
in general.
we got it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You stinking boo
They were French as well.
till there was pushback why for that, and there was enough people that got punched in the face that they understood. Nah, they might look a bit different. You know what I'm saying? They might come smelling of the house from the food from their house or whatever, but I can't go too mad here. Do you get it? And then the same thing happened with the Marlies. The difference is now, is that obviously some of you lot was a little bit lighter. So then it brings in that shade argument where you couldn't ask me, am I black or am I African? Because I'm both, like I'm blatantly both. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So some man that obviously went through that, because I've seen certain little interviews, not Marlies I know personally, because it was always patterns. It was in my school, you understand? Yeah. But I've seen certain somebody saying, blood, when we first came here, you lot was telling us we weren't black. So now guess what? We don't want to be with you lot now. How about that? And I get it.
Okay. And this is something I want you guys to understand. This is something that all of them are doing. Quite literally, all of them are doing this. You have the whole diaspora being all like, the only reason we had this disdain for you guys, the only reason we had this vitriol for foundational Black Americans is not because we were taught that. It's because you guys were being mean to us. You guys were picking on us. You guys didn't accept us. That's the only reason. And if it wasn't for that, then we would have been all kumbaya. The only reason we said we weren't black is because you, foundational Black Americans, didn't allow us to be black. Oh, really? We We not gonna let you slide with that. No, because we got receipts. Y'all been on that, and y'all teach, and y'all have this disdain for blackness. All right, y'all do, and y'all teach that, and it's completely independent of anything that we got going on. The way y'all be acting about being black, y'all hate black, quite literally. A lot of y'all do. Oh, I'm looking up my receipts, misspelled the word. That's what it is. Okay. All right. Y'all cannot stand that. Look at this. Hold on.
Somalis, they say that they're not black.
As fuck.
What do you think about Somalis? They say that they're not black.
That is they're high as fuck.
So you men are black, yeah?
Yeah, hell yeah. What the fuck? What do we?
Yeah, we're high, huh? As a Somali man, I am not black because I fear Allah and I'm a Muslim. Straight like that. Now in the Quran, in Surah Nur, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. And the definition of black is the absence or the complete absorption of light. Now if Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth, and black is the complete absence or absorption of light, I'm gonna let you do the math on that one. Now, there's a clear difference between just simply liking the color black, like myself, my favorite color is black, and saying you are black, i.e. the absence of light. Now, the entire idea of people either being black, white, brown, or red actually is an early American construct. Slave owners called themselves white, i.e. the presence of light, and called their slaves black, the absence of light, to justify their treatment of these human beings, to say that these human beings had no connection to God, so they could be treated and used and abused any type of way. Does that sound familiar with anything happening today? Malcolm X tried to tell his people, but unfortunately, a lot of them either don't remember or didn't care to remember. Now that brother in the video earlier goes on to talk about Spain, he goes on to talk about Arabs, but the problem with that is if you go to any Arabian country, none of those people will tell you they are white. They will say they are Arabs. If you go to Nigeria, the good people of Nigeria will tell you they are Nigerian, not black. If you go to Norway, the good people of Norway will not say they are white. They will say they are Norwegian. If you go to Malaysia, Indonesia, none of those people will tell you they are yellow. They will say they are either Malaysian or Indonesian. In the same way that Somalis will not tell you they are black, they will tell you they are Somali. This is the standard all across the world. No one refers to themselves black or white anywhere else in the world but here in America, and there is a reason for that. Now, sure, you could say that I'm playing with semantics and I'm picking the word apart. Oh, that's not what we mean when we say we're black. But what do you really mean? Who is really a black skin color in the world? And also, the English language is something to be really, really careful about, because there are so many satanic nuances in the English language. For example, the word God backwards is dog. SubhanAllah. The word devil backwards is lived. The word live backwards is evil. The word good backwards is just dog with an extra O. The point I'm trying to make is you have to be very careful. We have to be very careful what we say, because words have power. Words have power. So I hope that brother in the beginning understands. We're not high. We're just educated, my brother.
Mm. And this is them trying to, and I know a lot of Muslims specifically from Africa who understand the fact that there are, and there's some in the chat room tonight, and I know I ain't gonna call you out, but saying, well, black in the Quran or in this biblical text and all of that stuff, no, you're using two different definitions. Don't hide behind it. And this is something how I'm letting you know. I'm stumbling across my words. Got me so frustrated. This is how you know what they're saying is some nonsense. The clip before, when they was talking about y'all didn't want us to be black and y'all weren't around us. No, according to you all, your teachings have made black this dirty word. Now, there's a little bit of truth. Listen, to the fact that in the dominant society, they've conformed the dictionary and made black this degenerate thing and said that we were black or whatever the case is. The reason for our treatment is not because we're called black. And I need people to really understand that. We're whatever you want to call us, black, Negro, colored, whatever, the treatment has been the same because the system of white supremacy is a racial class system. Black, white, all of these things are racial classifications. So you're splitting hairs between, well, black means this in the dictionary. Okay, so are you a Negro? Because I'm a Negro. Negro means black and smell like all of this stuff. You're splitting hairs because you're running away from the word black because you want to be distant from anything at all that is blackness. Okay, you're saying all of these people don't refer to themselves as black. These Europeans don't refer to themselves as white. They don't refer to themselves as white. American whites don't refer to themselves as white. They used to love being called white back before the civil rights movement. They were proud to be white. Now the only people who are proud to be white are alt-right people. All of them understand the game now, and all of them understand, hey, we're white, but we can't say we're white. None of them say they're white anymore. White is like a secret to them. Okay? They all know it. If you know it, you ain't got to say it. So nobody out here says, well, yeah, I'm white. Not really. They all, I'm Italian, I'm Irish, I'm British. Of course, they all say that ethnically, but racially, they make sure they put down white. They make sure they put down white, and they make sure they back up other white people, even if they're from different ethnicities. They're on code. The problem with you as the Somalian people is that you're saying I'm Somali, I'm not black. Okay, well that means you won't be on code with other black people. That's what that means. When anytime, and this is how I'm saying it, anytime they say, well, I'm not black, I'm Somali, I'm not black, I'm Dominican, I'm not black, I'm Nigerian, I'm not black, I'm this, oh, okay, fine. Then that means that you see yourself and your community and your interest and your loyalty as something separate from black. So when we say, okay, we're doing this and we're fighting for black people, when you get out there and you fight, you're not fighting for black people. So, okay, cool. You gonna stand on your own business then. Don't come crying to us. And then he said Malcolm X tried to educate people. I don't know what clip you were looking for because Malcolm X was saying that we are black. When did Malcolm X deny being black? When did he say that? You're literally telling a lie on Malcolm X, and this is something that I'm telling you, this is what they be teaching. So don't come here and then blame us for not accepting you, for not welcoming you. And that's the lack of accountability. You guys want to get come back into the club now. Y'all want to knock back into and be welcome back into the juke joint. You want to be welcome back in and saying, well, the reason I deny my blackness is because you told me I wasn't black. No, 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 because you all have been denying your blackness for a very long time. Hold on. And when I say it's a part of teaching, it is a part of teaching. Hold on. I'm not done.
Most of the people that we meet, especially African Americans, they don't even know their fathers. They don't even know their fathers. It was all of them, most of them were the product of one night stand.
So tell me how again. Tell me again. Tell me again how it was us not welcoming them. Do you see how they try to revise history? The reason why Somalis said that they weren't black is because we didn't welcome them. The reason why is because we didn't mess with the Somalian people. It looks like this is an imam teaching. Okay, this looks like this is Jumu'ah. This looks like he is giving a lecture and telling them about foundational black Americans, how most of us don't know our father. Most of us are products of one night stands. It's very interesting. Now, where have you seen this equivalent where we're getting out there denigrating the Somalian community? We don't do that. You cannot find the equivalent of a foundational Black American preacher, imam, anybody getting up there, giving a whole lecture, giving a whole speech about the Somalian people are very dirty. The Somalian people are disloyal. The Somalian people hate their blackness and want to be white or want to be Arab. The Somalian people are violent. The Somalian people lie and scam. When do we do that? We've never done that to anybody. Yet they're doing that over here. And you know it's over here because they're speaking English. He's not speaking Arabic. He's speaking English. So he's in the United States. They're coming over here and this is what they're teaching. This is why they run away from Black. Because they see Black as foundational Black Americans and you all are terrible people. That's what they're saying. So don't come over here now that you're in trouble, now that ICE is in the way, now you want to talk about, well, the reason why we said we weren't Black is because y'all was saying we weren't Black. It wasn't us. We always wanted to be Black. No, 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 no. We have the receipts. We have the receipts. And then here you go lying. Sitting up there lying. Just out. Okay, all right.
One night stand. They will tell you, I don't know my father. Well, who named you? Whose name are you carrying? Well, my mother chose his name for me. I don't know. Is that what we want for our ummah? No. كلهم أو معظمهم أبناء الزنا. أبناء الزنا. Why? Because man, he has to give up the seed. And because the marriage will limit them, they will go from one to another to a third.
Okay. All right. I'm telling you, let's tell the truth about how they feel. We ain't gonna lie about it. I'm not gonna sit up here and allow y'all to be saying that we were the ones who didn't invite y'all. Y'all were the ones teaching to stay away from us. Y'all were teaching that.
All right, everyone is keep asking, why don't Somalis want to identify as Black? It's simple. The term Black was never a word to begin with. Yeah. The term Black, it didn't come from Africa. It came from America. Hello. Right? It was designed to separate slaves from Europeans. It was not designed to celebrate identity. It was to control it. Yeah. So when Somalis came to the West, we didn't suddenly become Black. We were labeled. All right? Imposed. And we embrace it. Chill like that. Chill like that. Sheesh. Somalis had identity before race. All right? Our identity comes from our ancestors, not appearance. Yeah. All right? Blackness is a Western category. Somalia is a civilization. Big difference. We're Somalis. Chill like that. Chill like that. What's your thoughts on this?
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. Be Somali. Be it. I hope they don't honestly think that they're like offending us by saying that they're not Black. I think that they are though. I think they believe, honestly, I think honestly that they believe that they're offending us, that they're hurting our feelings, that they're being all like, you know what? I don't even want to go to your party anymore. Like a little high schooler being all like, I'm too cool to go to your house. I'm too cool. I'm too cool to sit at this table. Okay, all right. Y'all was too cool to sit at the table when y'all in y'all little own enclaves and in y'all own little communities that y'all have segregated and sectioned off for yourselves in Minnesota, and y'all were telling each other y'all didn't want to be around us, that all of us, we don't know our fathers, and that we have one night stands, and that black is against God and all of this stuff, and y'all don't want to be associated with that table? Oh, that table over there? Okay, cool. Y'all got a lot of pride being refugees, though. I'm just saying. Y'all got a lot of pride talking about some Somali being a refugee. You don't even live in Somali. Y'all sitting up there speaking English. Okay, y'all got a lot of pride for that. But all right, okay. Y'all don't want to be on this. This the bad table. Cool. Now, and it's always been a cool table. Don't get it twisted. It's been shamed and marketed, our table, as the bad table, okay, as the lesser than table, as the uncultured table. And too long, we've actually believed that. Too many of us actually believe that. Now we have this cultural renaissance going on, and that's clearing all that up. Now we're saying, you know what? We realize we are the main characters. We do got the coolest table. We do got the best culture. We do got the most talent. We do got the flyest food, the flyest clothes, the flyest lingo. Everybody else, anything we doing, all these other tables are copying our table. We should be the ones disinviting everybody to sit at our table. We need to have the exclusive table. So now what we doing is now we reaping a rope. You know how in the VIP section, if you go to like an event or something and you have a rope, and now you got the VIP section. Now we got the VIP section sectioning our table off. Now everybody want to be like, hey, remember me? Hey, can I get in? Can I get in, please? The reason why I said you weren't cool is because I thought you didn't like me at first. So I was picking on you first because I thought you was gonna pick on me. So we cool? No. No. Sit at your little table, okay? Sit at your table. We gonna sit at ours. Y'all didn't want to be black. Y'all found every way. Y'all were literally bringing the Quran up to try to not be black. Y'all were literally bringing the Quran up to try to not be black. Y'all were teaching that in y'all masters and all that stuff. So now that is beneficial for y'all on some black power and black unity, don't come. No, no, no. Rope is closed. Don't open the rope. Nope. Don't open the rope. We closing the juke joint. You ain't getting no invites to the cookout. Whatever term you want to use, you ain't coming. Okay? I'm talking about they was out there, they denied it strongly. Hold on, there's more of it. I don't know, man. Maybe the Somalis. I don't know if the Somali. I still don't want to say the Somalis got the Dominicans beat though, because Dominicans, y'all hate being black. So I don't know. I don't know. What do y'all think? Who do y'all think denies being black more, Somalians or Dominicans? Um, uh, I still want to say Dominicans. I still want to say Dominicans deny it more, personally. I don't know. I don't know though.
These are not black. Let me explain why. Looking at me right now, chat. Am I black? I'm literally brown. I'm literally brown, bro. Think about it as well. Somalis are Arabs. We're in the Arab leagues. We speak the Arab language. We eat the Arab food. Bro, think about it like this, bro. If a whole community doesn't regard themselves as black, we can't be black, bro. We literally can't be black, bro. Boogie, did you eat your brain cells? Really and truly, Somalis are Arabs, bro. Think about it, bro. We're in the Arab leagues. We speak the Arab language. Bro, tell me I'm not lying, bro.
Okay, all right. So I'm letting you guys see this to show you. This is why. And Ilhan Omar, you've not done anything. You've done things for your constituency, and I guess that's cool, and I guess that's great and grand, fantastic, whatever the case may be. But the problem is, Ilhan, is that your community. This is what we've been having to deal with. This is what we've been having to deal with your community. So now that you need some help, because I'm telling you right now, ICE is out there just is kind of giving it to them. ICE is giving them the business right now. The Somalian community really does need a helping hand, but they ain't out here helping. They ain't out here really. It's not really working out for them because we ain't out here helping. Let me show you this. Because there's protests. Let me show you some of the protests that's going on.
Somali born, by the way, a numerical majority are U.S. born. And so 90% of Somali people in Minnesota are citizens of the United States or in lawful procedures to become that. Most Somalis are American born, by the way. A numerical majority are US born. And so, this broad brush thing where you just say they're all garbage, you're sort of greenlighting harassment and abuse. It's wrong. By the way, Minnesota, we value our Somali neighbors. These neighbors of ours, they open businesses. They are very heavily represented in care professions, like people who care for our elderly, children, things like that. 90% of Somali people in Minnesota are citizens of the United States or in lawful procedures to become that. Most Somalis are American born, by the way. A numerical majority are US born. And so, this broad brush thing where you just say they're all garbage, you're sort of greenlighting harassment and abuse. It's wrong. By the way, Minnesota, we value our Somali neighbors. These neighbors of ours, they open businesses. They are.
Now, here's the thing. The thing with that, and the thing that this is about this. Okay. All right. A lot of them are U.S. born citizens, but the problem is that y'all came under refugee status. So Trump can't denationalize y'all. The Not really. Even if there are targeted illegal things that you guys are doing now, that doesn't necessarily mean he can deport. Under the guise, there's a lot of red tape with that. What more than likely Trump is going to do is Trump is going to monitor everything, every dollar that is sent to Minnesota, and he's going to purge all of that money. He's going to freeze up and dry up all of that money, all of the welfare and government assistance programs and things of the sort. That's going to completely dry up, which is heavily relied on. Because let me pull this statistic up. Um, Most Somalis, a lot of the Somali community are disproportionately on welfare and are disproportionately benefiting from food stamps hold on, and things of the sort like that. Disproportionately. Let me pull that up. Welfare. Okay. Let me see that. Dun, dun, dun. Pulling that up. Pulling that up. Okay. 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 Okay, here it is. Show you guys the receipts because I don't just be making anything up. I be saying stuff and I'm pulling this up. This is live on Google right now, right here. Make it bigger for you guys so y'all can see. So this is what more than likely is going to be happening. Okay. It says welfare rate for Somalis vary significantly by country and program. All right, but we're talking about America, with some data showing high rates of food assistance in the U.S. and high rates of poverty in Somalia itself. In the U.S., approximately 42.4%. That is a huge percent, almost half. That is damn near 50%. Out of every 10, there's 5. Almost. That's almost half. Somali households receive SNAP benefits, while in Somalia, around 70% of the population lives in extreme poverty. Specifically, welfare programs. Okay, now you see welfare program participation, such as social housing in the UK, and those those was talking about us, also indicates high dependency on support programs. Listen, this is something. I had to clean my glasses for a second. Got to clean it to read. This is something that y'all rely on a lot, and the problem is that Trump can cut that off, and y'all really, what does y'all got to do? That's the problem. And y'all can't expect Foundation Black Americans to save y'all because y'all were talking about y'all didn't want black. Y'all didn't want to be black. And another part that, another reason why we're staying out of this is because a lot of the scams and the stuff that they were doing, truth be told, they were being put under the label of black. So socially, they don't want to claim black. Remember? They were all like, we're not black, we're Somali, we're not black, we're Somali. Cool, fine, fine, fine. But then when there's a scam that goes on, when there's a fraud scandal, whatever the case is that goes on, or when y'all need some help, then it's black, black, black. Y'all remember Brick Lady? How many of y'all remember Brick Lady? If y'all remember Brick Lady, put a brick in the chat room. Let me pull up this clip just so we can get a good refresher, good reminder. And where was Brick Lady from? Brick Lady was from Somalia. That's where she was from. And this is what she was out here doing.
Yo, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watch, and they don't give a. Yeah, this man hit me, grabbed a rock, and he hit me in my face because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just watch.
What you
Y'all
want to
see
do?
that?
What you
Y'all
want
see
to do? What you want to
that?
do?
What y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man. Do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face? Yo, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men.
Do you see that? Come on now. And this is what we've had to deal with. This is why delineation is so necessary and important, because all of the social benefits, it comes from your ethnicity when y'all graduate high school, when y'all graduate college, when y'all start a business, when y'all participate and do anything productive in society at all. You put your ethnicity first. You're a Somalian. You don't even know why you're referred to as black. You don't want to be referred to as black. That's what you say. Okay? That's what you teach. You're literally teaching to stay away from us. Okay? What I showed you right here, this is an extreme version. Hold on, not this one, this one. This is an extreme version of stay away from the Akata. Y'all not even saying the word Akata, but you might as well at that point. You know how Nigerians got to stay away from the Akata? This is the Somalian version of stay away from the Akata. Okay, all right. So stay away from the Akata. So when y'all want to be pious and when y'all want to be super religious or whatever the case is, even though y'all really lying on your own on the Quran, you're lying on the Quran. The religion you claim to believe in, you're lying. Okay. All right, stay away from black when it's something good. And this is something that we got to tell the truth about. We have to tell the truth about this because we're allowing them to come back when they need help. And now we're saying no, or we have allowed them to come back when they need help, or to come back when something is good going on for foundational Black Americans. They get to come over here and then they get to leave. All of this open door lineage where people get to come in and come out when it's beneficial to them. They get to be black when it's beneficial to them. When they want to run a scam, talking about I'm a black woman being attacked. You get to be black when it's beneficial to you. You get to be black when you need Foundation Black American assistance. You get to be black when we talk about our cultural achievements and our rights and our advocacy in this state. You get to be in this states. When I say state, you get to be black then. But then when it comes to just being black in general, you don't want to be that. You want to be this thing. You want to be Somali. Okay, fine. Right now, what we're doing is we're drawing the line. We're taking it. Where's a pen? Give me a pen, okay? We're taking this pen and we're drawing a fine line and saying, you're Somali over there, we're black over here. Ain't no jumping back and forth. See, let me tell you something about Foundation Black American culture, okay? Let me tell you something. I just dropped my pen. Got it. Let me tell you something. How many of y'all, when we used to play outside, we used to go outside and all that stuff. How many of our parents, your parents, because I know mine did, I want to know how many of your parents told us, and I know a lot, because I know my people, told us, ain't going to be no running back and forth. Ain't going to be none of that. You either inside or you outside. All of this running back and forth and in and out and you in and out, they didn't like that. Okay. If you was outside, you was outside. If you was inside, you was inside. But I'm in, and we used to do that all the time. All the time. Me, my brothers, my cousins, we used to, okay, we outside. Then when the mosquitoes started coming out, now we inside, but now we still want to go outside and we would run outside. Okay. And then we come back inside, get a cup of water, leave back out for another 5 minutes, come right back in, sit down. Because there was AC in the house. It would be hot outside. So you sit down, you drink a cup of water in the AC, you sit on the couch, catch your breath. Okay, cool. And then you run back outside and they say, ain't none of that. They told you they didn't even like the door opening and closing. Oh, why is the door opening and closing? You can't be opening and closing my door like that. Bringing up, letting the AC out. They would say we letting the AC out. You can't be letting the AC out, letting all these bugs in. That's one thing about us. Okay, that's one thing about our code. We do not like bugs. Letting all these bugs in. You got bug. It wouldn't even be no bugs coming in. But our family was just so paranoid about some damn bugs. Hey, you letting all these bugs in, there's flies in, and there ain't no flies. There's flies all up in here. Okay. They see if listen, this is how I know we all the same in this way. If there was one fly in the house, one fly in the house, they would sit up there questioning who let this fly in this house. Why is there a fly? They would make it seem like a fly was like a stray cat. That somebody opened the door and said, come in, Mr. Kitten, come in. I got some warm milk and some cat food for you." They would literally make it seem like the fly was the cat. Okay. And we just allowing animals up in the house. See, that's some white people stuff where they all like, "Hey, I found this dog. Can we keep him?" "Oh, yeah, I guess we can. He's so adorable." We didn't do that. We already knew our parents. Imagine bringing a dog home. The first thing they tell you is that dog is filthy. Not the dog is not trained. See, that's how we know we culturally we a little bit we kind of some germaphobes culturally. Culturally, we a little bit, or at least our parents, a little bit germaphobes. Okay, because you talked about a dog. The first thing that our parents are concerned with is not the fact that the dog is potentially dangerous. It's because the dog ain't clean. That's the priority. Okay, well the dog can bite you, but I guess, but the problem is the dog is dirty. That's the problem. When's the last time the dog had a bath? I get that, yeah, the dog can probably eat you, but when is the last time the dog had a bath? That's their problem. Okay. We come from a kind of germaphobe, a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. We come from, they didn't like nothing going in. I'm digressing, talking about all this stuff. But that's the thing, okay? All of this, they didn't want you to bring in stray dogs. They didn't like flies in the house. They be paranoid. You couldn't open a window. You couldn't do none of that. So this is why they was like, ain't no in and out. You are either inside or you outside. You said, but I'm thirsty. It's 92 degrees outside. It's hot. Ain't no clouds. It's just the sun beaming. They say, see that hose? Around the corner, around the corner of the house, turn the water on the hose, and then drink the water out the hose. We'd have to drink the water out the hose. Okay, the gardening hose. Drink the water out the gardening hose. I don't know why it tasted good. Why that water tasted kind of good. At least mine. I don't know what it is. It tasted. I don't know why. Maybe it's because we was just so. It was so hot. It kind of did taste good. I ain't gonna lie to you. I enjoyed it. And you felt real cool doing it too. You really did feel cool. I don't know why you, as a kid, I'm reminiscing a little bit. I don't know why, as a kid, you just felt cooler drinking the water out the garden hose than drinking it out of a cup. Maybe the cup was just so civilized, and you thought you was cooler, or whatever the case is. But yeah, hmm getting back to it, ain't no in and out. All of that, all of this cultural thing to say there was no in and out. Ain't no in and out. So this is something that the Somalian community is learning the hard way. That pick a side and you stay on that side. You don't get to pick a side that's beneficial to you, that's convenient to you at that moment. when foundational Black Americans are being denigrated and talked down upon and all of this stuff. Y'all don't want to associate with us, but then when it's beneficial to y'all, y'all want to come sit at the cool kids table. Oh, the cool kids table is closed now. Oh, that's closed now. We got a rope around the cool kids table. You can't sit here now. No, this is invite only. Invite is only for family. You can't sit here. You got to get up. You got to eat whatever you eat over there. Or go to those Arabs who don't like y'all. Go to the Arab community who does not like black at all. They Arab people do not like black. Come on. So go over there. Go to them. No, we over here. Don't look at us. Don't even look at my food. Why are you looking at my food? Don't even look at my food. I don't want you looking at it. Don't even do that. They come over. We covering their food up. Don't do that. We don't even like you looking at that stuff. Okay, that's the problem. Y'all learning the hard way, and I'm telling y'all, it's a sad look for y'all. Really, it really is. I'm looking at some of the stuff y'all getting deported. It's not looking that good. Come on.
Tem problema, amigo. Eu não tenho problema, amigo. Hold on, P, man. Sorry. Move back. Out the way, boys. Out the way. You're gonna get knocked down. Move.
If that's not going outside, I don't know what is.
Amigo, eu não tenho problema, amigo. Hold on, P, man. Sorry.
If that's not going outside, I don't know what is. I'm talking about they made it seem like they was gonna go in the back and execute him or something like that. What was that? Boy, I'm telling you, they going outside. That's going outside, y'all. Weak. And this is happening. This is the reason. I mean, it's happening. So for all of y'all who's talking about, well, most of the Somali immigrants are already citizens here. Well, no, there's some who are not, and the some who are not are getting picked up. So there might all Somalians are not going to leave the country. No, of course that's not going to happen. Let's be realistic. But there are a lot who are. There are a lot of Somalians who are immigrants here who do not have citizenship who will be leaving. Let's be honest with you about that. We ain't lying, okay? And then the ones who are here, y'all gonna have a much more difficult time because a lot of the food stamps scams and all of the benefits that are being given to Minnesota and all of this stuff and the welfare benefits is gonna dry up very quickly. You know, it kind of sucks to be on the wrong side of history, doesn't it? Doesn't it suck to be on the wrong side of history? Doesn't it suck to sit up there and talk about us, to talk about how we don't know who our fathers are and pity us and talk down on us and talk very condescending to us and all of this stuff? It sucks to be on the wrong side of history, right? Because when you need some help, you're not going to get any. Not that we would help just in principle like that anyway, but the fact of the matter is that you don't even have any social or moral support. Now, let me tell you something. You have a bunch of white liberals, quote unquote, who are advocating and fighting for Somalis and talking about how they want the Somalis to stay here and what's going on is wrong. And I'm saying, and I'm showing you this because uh I'm showing you this because the white people are out here using the Somali community. Let me show you this. Hold on. Here we go. Get this off the screen. Get this on the screen. And then pull it up.
ICE is in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. Trump is using them to target our Somali neighbors. He is saying some racist, horrific things about Somalis. But you know what? It's not surprising. It's who he is. And it's even worse when things aren't going well for him, and they're not going well right now. But we have to remember that he's picking on Somalis now. He picks on folks that are less able to defend themselves. It's been Mexicans, it's been trans folks, you name it, and there will be more. But what I want to say is we value our Somali neighbors. We love having them as part of our community. They're an important part of our community, and we welcome them here and stand by them.
Let me tell you something. Okay. Y'all can fight with the dominant society. The dominant society is only doing that because the dominant society uses a lot of that and finesses the Somalis, like they did with the whole immigration scam. They be running scams and different programs and finessing the government with them. So they want the immigrants over here. That's why they wanted them over here. Somalians, the Venezuelans, a lot of the Latinos, they want them all over here because they be finessing the government and using them with the scams. And the thing is that yeah, you can have their support, but foundational Black American support comes with something very unique. Okay, that it comes with a moral richness. Let me repeat that. It comes with a moral richness. That moral richness you're not going to get from the dominant society. You're not going to get from the white liberals. You're not going to get that. We're the only people who, when we make a complaint, when we're going out there protesting against the government, protesting against corruption, protesting against injustice, our claims are heard. Whether it's ignored or whether not ignored, whether it's agreed to or disagreed to, it's heard, it's respected. Even if they disagree with it, they respect our fight because we have a moral richness in this land that nobody else has. Nobody else has this moral richness because they don't have a moral claim. They don't have a legitimate claim of injustice here. They don't have that because they immigrated here. Wherever they're from was worse off than where here is. Otherwise, they would be where they're from. So therefore, that delegitimizes any complaint that they can make when they get here. We're the only people who say we can't do that. That we can't have this illegitimate immigration argument made to our complaint because we built here. We're the builders. We're the foundation of America. Therefore, our complaint comes from the soil, comes from the heartbeat of the country. Nobody else, not the Native American, Red Indian, $5 Indians, none of them. They're not the heartbeat of America. They're not the foundation in the base of the country. We are. Therefore, we have a moral richness in this soil that nobody else has. That's why everybody needs our help to get anything done. Whether they're the Hispanics who are sitting up there asking us to reconnect with this black and brown coalition and this people of color coalition, whether that's the Africans who are being deported, whether that's the Caribbeans who are being deported, whether that's any and everybody, there's a moral richness that they need because their claims will go unheard. Their claims will be ignored. Their cries will be ignored if they don't have the moral richness that we have. And they can't have that because they're not in their homeland and they're in ours. And for the longest time, we've been giving it away to everybody generously. We've been generously on the front lines for any and everybody saying, if you're in help, if you're in crisis, I'm here for you. If you need something, I'm going to be there for you. That's what we've been doing. And what we've been getting in return is a spit in the face. Spit in the face. That's what we've been receiving in return. Generations after generations after generations of that, of people saying, I don't want to be like you guys. I don't want to be near you guys. You guys are criminalistic. You guys are dirty. You guys are unsophisticated. You guys are uneducated. You guys are unmotivated. You guys are lazy. You guys, everything negative. This is what they've been saying. Okay. So now, I mean, you've parted it up. Your 15 minutes is over now. Now it's time for you to get a taste of the medicine that we've been forced to endure this entire time that America has existed. America is about to be 250 years old, and we've been dealing with it for 400. And you guys just got here, and you guys are dealing with it for less than a year, and you're losing your minds. You're losing your minds dealing with something for less than a calendar year that we've been dealing with for centuries. As you guys have been telling us that we're lazy and we don't know anything. There's a lot of y'all talking about some ethnic pride of being Somali and all that, but you don't live there. Let me ask you guys this question. How was Somalia, as a country, going to get any better if the people there want to flee? If the people there are not concerned with going back and fixing anything, if the people there are not concerned with going back and taking care of any problems, huh? Huh? How is that going to happen? Where is this ethnic pride to go back and fix anything, to go back and help? It would be one thing. I'm gonna be honest. Look, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, okay? And I want y'all to bear with me. Hear me out. It would be one thing if y'all were finessing the government to at least help Somalia. If y'all were doing these welfare scams and these COVID scams and these food stamp scams and y'all was taking the money and sending it back home, I could see that. I mean, that would still have to stop. Don't get me wrong. It would still have to stop, of course. But I could kind of see, I could almost respect that gangster. I could almost be like, you know what? It's got to stop. But I do respect the attempt. I would have to give it to y'all. I would say, I mean, you send the resources back home. I can't hate on that. Got to stop it, but can't hate on it. I couldn't hate on it. But that's not what y'all doing. When y'all come over here, y'all don't care about Somalia. Y'all could give a damn. Y'all don't go back over there. Y'all don't really send nothing back over there. Y'all don't help nobody over here. Y'all don't do nothing. And this isn't even exclusive to Somali. This is really the whole continent. The continent, all of the African immigrants, they will come over here and they will talk about how great they do, how educated they are, how hard they work, how much money they gain. They don't do anything to benefit here, to benefit America, Foundation Black Americans, and they don't send that money back. There are some who do, some who send it back, and they don't send it back to really build infrastructure in their community. They might send it back to their families. That's a different thing. When people make the argument, oh no, we do send it back. We do send it back. Are you sending it back to build a school? Are you sending it back to build a hospital? Are you donating to clinics? Are you doing something to fix a bridge or infrastructure or to create jobs and opportunities? No. You might be sending it back to your mother and father, to your aunties and uncles, to some of your family members, direct family members, but that's as far as you send anything back. Besides that, none of y'all are doing anything to really help the whole community like that. That's the difference. I'm not talking about y'all sending a couple dollars back to your mama back home. I'm talking about you guys are actually planning and strategizing on how to fix problems back home. Y'all don't do that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all don't. And if you did, your homeland will be different. That's how we know you don't do it. If you guys honestly, with all of the scamming that y'all doing, if y'all say, you know what, we got to fix home, we need a hospital, we need a couple of shelters, we need some medicine, we need some food, we need to send some resources so they can get some water, so they can get some plumbing, so they can get some this, some that. So we gonna send this money back, and then they gonna set this up. We got connections over there. I can respect that. You still can't finesse the government because we need reparations, but I could respect that attempt. I could respect that gangster. Look, I respect it, but that's not what y'all doing. If, and that's a big if y'all send anything back, what you're sending back is stuff for your maybe your mama or your grandma. You might help your grandma out, and I guess that's cool, but that's all y'all do for the most part. And I'm not even specifying Somalians in particular. I'm talking about African Caribbeans and immigrants in general. It's not like y'all doing much to help out the community and to change the condition. And this is the problem that we have. Because as foundational Black Americans, we are concerned with, and really, it's a cultural thing that we're concerned with changing the condition, not just helping ourselves or helping our direct family. That's y'all problem. Because y'all still think with this tribalistic mindset. This, well, I'm not going to do anything that's going to benefit some other tribe. We don't think that way. We don't think I don't want to do anything that's going to not benefit that's going to benefit some other part of the city. We wouldn't think that way. We don't think I don't want to, as a foundational Black American, I don't want to do anything that's going to benefit some other state. We don't think that way. They think that way. They honestly think, well, if I create this hospital, the other tribe might come to the hospital, and I don't want the other tribe to come to the hospital. I want something only for my small little tribe over here. They think that way. If they send resources, the resources isn't to fix the nation and to create a better environment for the nation. The resources is for a small little group of people because they don't want to help everybody. It's so different from us. They want to talk about culture. That's a big difference in culture. It's a huge difference in culture. We want to help everybody. And truth be told, we've been the only people in the world that's wanted to help everybody. Nobody else in the world has wanted to help everybody. We're the only people who wanted to help everybody. And now we're saying, you know what? Helping everybody is not helping anybody because it's not helping us. If we are drowning, trying to prevent other people from drowning, we're not going to save anybody and we're not saving ourselves. And the insult to injury part about that is that when we're drowning, everybody's pointing the fingers and looking at us and saying, ha ha, they can't swim. But the only reason why we're drowning is because we're using our arms to push everybody else up. We are drowning to save everybody else. We're giving our resources away to save everybody else. And then they'll look back after they're safe on shores and they'll look back and say, look at them drowning over there. We don't want to be like them. They're drowning. That's why. Somalian refugees would not be in America if it wasn't for foundational Black Americans. It wouldn't be. There wouldn't be any African refugees in this country if it wasn't for foundational Black Americans. That's a fact. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. And they come over and then they tell us, you know what? Hey, I'm not black. I don't want to be next to y'all. Y'all don't know who your fathers are. Y'all are products of one night stands. You guys have a degenerate culture. And the degenerate culture, the same degenerate culture is the one that saved you all from your own civil war. The Civil War, we're the ones who had a degenerate culture. Now, foundational Black Americans, we've never had a civil war. They can talk about the Bloods and the Crips and the GDs and the BDs. That's not a civil war. I'm talking about y'all got civil wars for real, going on over there. And it was our culture that had to save you guys because we cared about everybody. We cared about the whole continent. We cared about the Caribbean. And we've saved people and we've saved the refugees. Honestly, we don't even know how many people, we can't even count how many people we've saved, how many lives we've saved. And we've come over here and y'all seek refuge with the fight that we fought for, okay? After the blood, sweat, and tears were done, after the battle was won, y'all came over here and to say we don't know who we are. Y'all came over here to say we're lazy, to say we're uncultured, to say black is closer to the devil. Okay. All right. That's the bed you made. And to the Somali community, that is the bed you made. Now you'll have one or two who was like, no, I always claim my blackness. I've always claimed to be black. Okay, that's good for you. That's great for you. I mean, bravo. The problem is that your community spoke very loudly about their disdain for blackness. Unwarranted, really. Because all of these communities, I want you to keep in mind, we don't ever try to make anybody be black. We notice it talking about, well, your phenotype, you have dark skin, you have what they would consider Negro features, you have woolly hair, what they would associate with Negro people, black people, so you're black. We're not making you be black. We're talking about the classification, the racial classification. They made it seem as if we made somebody be black. They made it seem like we're forcing them to be black. We never did that. They're on podcast trying to talk and denounce being black. Nobody's making y'all be black. Nobody's forcing y'all to be black. They're unwarrantedly denouncing black. They wanted to be abundantly clear. Hey, there's no connection to me and being black whatsoever. We have nothing alike, nothing in common. Cool. And now this is where you are. This is where you are because this is what you've done. This is the bet you've made. And as far as us acting like we're the Avengers and saving everybody and coming to everybody's rescue, that's over with. That's over with. We're not acting like we're the heroes of everybody no more, acting like we're the saviors of everybody anymore. That's over with. That's completely over with. Delineation, y'all. Let me get to super chats. Delineation is teaching everybody a very important lesson. Let me get to Eve. Eva sends a super chat, super sticker. And then Tobias says, thanks for all that you do. FBA all day. B1 to you. Thank you very much, Tobias, my brother. And then SMG sends a super chat. FBA Justice. Yesterday, all of the I know black people telling FBA no black. Now ICE is calling them, claiming to be black. Now ICE has them claiming to be black. Oh yeah, ICE has them claiming to be black. Talking about black women and black this and Iham Olmar. No, come on now, Iham. Now, Iham Olmar. I've never seen Iham Olmar not claim to be black. I will say that. I've never seen her not claim to be black. Now, Iham Olmar's problem is that despite Somalian issues, I've never seen her speak on black issues. The only people that I've ever seen Iham Olmar speak on are Somalis and immigrants. Now, Iham Olmar, she's spoken on immigrants who are not Somalians, but she's never spoken on foundational black Americans. She's not advocating for foundational black Americans. She will advocate for immigrants, not the black ones. She'll advocate for the Hispanic ones, all of the immigrants, but she's not advocating for foundational black Americans. So you're using the blackness really disingenuously. All right? That's my issue. Because if you're all about your community, why are you caping for all immigrants? She's about Somalians and immigrants, which is what she sees herself as first. She sees herself as Somali first, and then she sees herself as an immigrant. I could almost give it to her if it was like, well, I got to protect my ethnic group, but you, as foundational black Americans, I'm black second, even though she shouldn't be. She's not in Somalia, but she doesn't even act that way. Come on now. I've never seen you speak on an issue that has nothing to do with either being an immigrant or being Somali. As far as foundational black American issues, Iham Olmar is not present. Iham Olmar is not involved. We don't know what she thinks because she's not saying anything. She doesn't voice her opinion on anything. She's not advocating for us. She advocates for Somalian people and she advocates for immigrants. Okay. So if that's the case, you have the Somalian people, y'all save yourselves. Immigrants, y'all save yourselves. Now the thing is that immigrants ain't really saving nobody right now. Immigrants are not saving nobody. Don't look at immigrants to save nobody. Immigrants got their own problems. They do. What we're doing now is that we're showing everybody, giving everybody a taste of their own medicine. And it's not even out of malicious intent. We're not doing this because, haha, you didn't help us. We're not helping you. It's more than that. A little bit of that, but it's more than that. What we're doing is we're saying, you know what, we need to focus on prioritizing ourselves anyway. It's not even out of spite. I don't even like when people be all like, oh, y'all doing this because y'all bitter. Y'all doing this because y'all sad. Y'all doing this because y'all hate us. No, it's not got nothing to do with hate. We're not bitter. We're not sad about it. We're doing this because what our priority should be is ourselves. This is where our priority lies. And it should have been that way for a very long time. Now, if you guys were helping and we honestly had a good relationship and a good coalition and you all were solid allies, it would be a different strategy. It would be a different thing. We shouldn't let our allies fall by the wayside. It would be different if you guys were actually allies to foundational Black Americans. It would be a strategic advantage to save you guys because you guys are beneficial to the cause. But it's no strategic advantage to save any group of people at all because no group of people have shown to be beneficial to the cause that foundational Black Americans are fighting for. None. So why would we first waste our time and energy in doing something for you all when the only result that we've seen is you all hurting the group? Remember the brick lady. Is you all claiming that we're uncivilized and we don't know our fathers and we're products of one night stands and this and that? That's the result that we can expect from saving you guys, is actually being backstabbed. So it's insane for us to get off our course, the course that we're on right now, and then to circle back and help anybody. Why would we do that? What strategy is that? Now, this is what I said it before. This is the bet you guys made. So now this is the bet you all are lying in. If you all were helpful from the beginning, wouldn't have this issue. Wouldn't be this problem. You guys were not. You guys were very hurtful. You guys were very problematic. And now we're looking at the situation with ICE, and you got a lot of foundational Black Americans kind of clapping. Truth be told, you got a whole bunch of FBAs kind of looking like, this might be a good thing. This might be a beneficial thing. Truth be told, you got a lot of FBAs looking like, I kind of like this. That's a problem. You wonder why do FBAs like ICE so much? Well, no, FBA, and I can't speak for the whole lineage, but from what I've been hearing, FBA don't like ICE just because we like ICE, just because they like ICE, just because somebody likes ICE. FBAs like problems being solved. That's the problem. Oh, hold on. Put the charger in. Oh, thing. FBA's like problems being solved. I just got an alert on my computer about my charger, so that's why I'm putting it up. That's the problem. And what we see now is that ICE is taking care of a very serious problem that we've been having to deal with. We've been having to be the face of. And this is a problem that we've been wanting to get rid of the whole time. That if you guys were over here and you guys want a problem, it wouldn't be this way. But you guys were over here and you denied your blackness. Now that you need some help, now you want to be black. It don't work that way. Okay, you're either inside or you're outside. Y'all chose to be outside. Okay, well, when it gets really hot, or in this case, cold, ice, cold. See what I did? When it gets really cold outside and now y'all don't want to be outside no more, now you want to come inside, it don't work that way. Y'all said we don't want to be inside, we want to be outside. We got more culture outside. Okay, now when the sun comes down and the wind starts blowing and it gets real cold, you want to come back inside and you're knocking on the door, but you realize the door is locked. Oh yeah, we locked the door. And then we don't even open it all the way. You know how we just kind of look, we talking through the little peephole and we saying, "Hey, what you want? Hey, my black brother and sister, can I come in?" We said, "Black? You're black? Oh, you're not black. You're Somali, remember? You're Somali. You guys are not black at all. You're Arab, remember?" And this goes for a whole lot of the like Arab population of Africa, the northern African countries that are Arab. So whether that's Somali, whether that's Sudan, all of these countries and all that stuff, y'all like being Arab. That's what y'all like being. Y'all don't like being black. Y'all want to be Arab first. Okay, we'll go get the Arabs to help you. Go get them to help you. Notice, notice that when the Somalis need help, when the Sudanese need help, when all of them need help, notice that they don't like to claim being Arab. Have you thought about that? You think about that? They don't like to claim being Arab when they need help. Now, any other time, I'm Arab. I'm really not Somali like that. I'm really Arab. They're Arab all. Okay, you want to be Arab. But then when you need help, y'all don't go to other Arabs. Y'all don't go to the Pakistanians. Y'all don't go to the Palestinians. Y'all don't go to the Iranians. Y'all don't go to other Arabs, the unmelanated Arabs, the non-black Arabs. Y'all don't go to them because y'all know they don't like nothing black. They can't stand nothing black. Y'all don't go to the Arabs when y'all need help. Y'all come to us. It don't work that way. No. Y'all not gonna be coming to us. Go to the Arab community if you want to be Arab. Be Arab. That's cool. It's cool, but don't come over here. Go ask DJ Colin to come and help you. That's all I'm saying. If you want some help, go ask DJ Colin. Okay. If you want some help, go ask French Montana. That's what you do if you need some help. Don't come asking us. Go ask DJ Colin. Okay. We the best. Go ask DJ Colin. Go ask French Montana. Go ask them. Don't ask us. Let me get to the other super chats. Oh, this one. My brother Antithesis is out here supporting. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. All right. Then we got J Dub. He sends a super sticker. Thank you very much, J Dub. And then Tell It Like It Is. He says, I got powerful words. Uh, go the flip home. How was that? Hey, I like that. Go home. Go home. You have some even claiming. Let me get this. Let me get this one because this was kind of weird. What I saw, and let me explain why they saying this. Because a lot of people are not wondering or asking why they even saying this. Okay. And I did a little bit of research on it. Okay, here it is. This clip right here.
Yo, Minnesota was promised to us Somalis 3,000 years ago. And if you disagree, you're an anti-Kushite bigot and you need help immediately. Also, if you read Genesis 12:3, it says that those who bless Somalis will be blessed, and those who try to harm them will bring harm upon themselves. I didn't say that. Genesis 12:3. Just saying.
Okay. A lot of people wondering what was that about. That is what that is satire because they're mocking Israel because that's what a lot of the people, the Jewish people, believe. Okay, that Israel was promised to the Jews. That's what they believe. That Israel, they're from the 12 tribes of Israel. They believe that Israel is the land that is promised to them. And they believe that that comes from the book of Genesis. That's why he's quoting the book of Genesis. You have to think a lot the Somali population, a lot of them are Muslim. So they don't read the book of Genesis. They read the Quran, which ain't got nothing to do with the book. Well, I ain't gonna. It doesn't have anything to do with the book of Genesis. He's doing that to mock the Jewish community. Okay, that's what he's doing. And that's been the trend online. And a lot of people are wondering what the hell is he talking about. That's what he's doing. Okay, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. But the thing is that if you're mocking them, my thing about that, and it's not really my business. It's not really my business because I'm not a part of either one of the communities. But from a spectator, and you are in America, so I do get I do have a right to speak on this. But my thing is that you're mocking the Jews for claiming Israel. Okay, now that aside, then you're talking about Minnesota was promised to us and all of that, and you're mocking their claim to Israel and all of that with Minnesota. But where is your ethnic pride? I'm looking at it from a third person looking at the situation. I have nothing to do with the whole y'all issue with Israel and y'all issue with this. And I want you to understand a lot of the Arab countries and a lot of them, they have their own personal issues with Israel. That's why Myron Gaines can't stand Israel because he's from Sudan. And Sudanese people have an issue with Israel and a lot of them coming over there. That's not our problem as foundational Black Americans. Their their cultural, geopolitical issues are not our issues. The Somalians who have issues with Israel, that's not our issues. All right. I'm not defending Israel. There's some people going to be saying that. And I'm not doing that at all. But I'm just saying their issues are not our issues. But from a person looking in outside as a foundational Black American, looking at y'all going back and forth, what I can say is that when they defend Israel, Israel, regardless of the legitimacy of their defense, they actually do feel Israel is their home. So they do have the ethnic pride of feeling like Israel is their home. Somalians, you're mocking them for feeling that way. Okay, but you can't really mock them because you're not home. Are you following what I'm saying? I'm just looking at it from a spectator point of view. How are you going to mock them for claiming something to be their homeland if you're not even in your homeland? See, it kind of defeats that. You can't make fun of somebody for claiming something being their homeland, whether true or untrue, if you're in somebody else's homeland. Like you're making fun of somebody's house for being janky if you don't have your own house. You're making fun of somebody's car for not working right if you don't have a car. It don't really work that way. I'm not either on either side. I'm just looking at it from a third person point of view. You can't mock nobody else if you're not at home. If you were in Somalia and you can make fun of them all day long, but you're not. You're in Minnesota. And if you're in Minnesota, you can't really say anything about anybody. That's my thing. Looking at it from that point of view, who are you? What are you doing? What are you doing? It's kind of the joke really would have hit, and I'm be honest. Okay, the joke would have hit if he was in Somalia. If he was actually in his homeland, the joke would have really hit. But the fact that he's in Minnesota, uh, no, no, you mess it up because the strength of it is not there. You're messing it up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a lot of pride when y'all not home. You can't talk all this mess when you're not home. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. You got Omar. Omar says, I'm eating my popcorn like Mike in Thriller, watching all these hostile immigrants getting a business from Trump. Shout out to Michael Jackson. Hey, that scene. Hey, they told us to get our popcorn, get our drink, watch them handle it. They was better than everybody. They was smarter than everybody. They had more culture than everybody. They were more sophisticated. I don't see a lot of sophistication going on personally. I don't see a lot of pride. I don't see a lot of education. I don't see a lot of culture and bravery and courageousness. I don't see none of that.
Tem problema, amigo, eu não tenho problema,
I don't
amigo.
see a lot of that.
Amigo, eu não tenho problema, amigo. P, man. Sorry. Move back. Out the way, bro. You're gonna get knocked down. Move. Amigo, não tem problema. Amigo, eu não tenho problema, amigo. P, man. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't scream any cultural pride or anything like that. Look, I could respect it. I could respect it if y'all was over here for a temporary amount of time. Even if y'all came as refugees, my whole thing with America and refugee, and this might be me. This might just be me. And if it is me, I want to know. My whole thing with the whole refugee argument is that I don't see how, like, if there's a conflict going on, and this might be me, but if there's a conflict going on and you're a refugee, I would think that the refugee thing would be temporary. Like, is that not temporary? How is being a refugee a closer path to citizenship than it would be if you tried to immigrate and just become a citizen? Have you, like, is America really needs to do a lot of changing with the whole refugee thing, because a lot of people claim to be refugees even though they're not, because refugees actually have an easier time becoming American citizens than people who are just immigrating and trying to become American citizens. If you guys didn't know, it's actually easier to claim to be a refugee, to claim to be an asylum seeker who's fleeing from persecution, fleeing from some danger, and it's a faster path to citizenship. Why is that? Because I would think a refugee, let's say you had a natural disaster, let's say you had a geopolitical conflict or whatever the case is, so you're here for a few years and then you go home. That's what I would think. You're here until, let's say there was an earthquake or whatever the case is, and you had to come because your homeland was all torn up and the buildings and all of that stuff that got torn up, and then you came to America and you stayed for a few years while your homeland got fixed back up, and then you go back home. I'm just, and this is the whole American refugee process that I'm starting to really think about, like, okay, what just happened? Because when was the going home part of the plan? When was that never a part of the plan? You were never going to go home, or were you guys just scrapping that part of the plan? Like, what happened to the going back part of the plan? See, I don't have no problem if refugees was on that type of time. But how are you a refugee? That's like if I was really down bad, I lost my job, I got evicted, and I had to move back in with my parents. Imagine any of us, sometimes we get hard times. You lose your job closed down, something might happen, you get behind on your bills, you can't really afford it, whatever happens. You got to move back in with your parents, or you got to move in with another family member or a close friend or something. Your parents, now you're grown, you might be married with kids, and your parents say, well, you know what, you still family, I'm gonna look out for you, you come in, you can have this room, you stay until you get a job, until you get another place, and then until you get back on your feet. Okay, mom, okay, dad, that's what I'm gonna do. And a month goes by, Okay. I mean, given the economy, it takes a little bit longer than a month. 6 months go by. Okay, what's going on? A year goes by. Well, damn, it took you. What's the plan here? 2 years go by. Well, you can't find a job. What's going on? Like at this point, when were you planning on leaving? And imagine them saying, "Oh, sorry, Dad. I meant to tell you, I'm not planning on moving out. I'm gonna live here forever, and there's nothing you can do about it." Can you imagine that? Imagine that. You move back in with your parents saying, "Hey, I'm down on hard times. I just need a place to stay." And they say, "Okay, well, you can come over here until you get back up on your feet." See, this is why people give people time limits to get back on their feet at this point. Because people been finessing that for too long. So when people say, "Hey man, I hate to ask. I really hate to ask. But I need a place to stay." Okay, man, you can come over for 2 days and 30 minutes. They it's gotten so bad now where people are giving people time limits to stay because they know if you don't have a due date of getting up out of here, if you don't have a time where you're supposed to get your stuff together, get a house, get a job, get some money saved up, and then get up out of here, you're gonna be here indefinitely. People already are used to that finesse. So people give people even your parents giving you time limits. Be all like, "It's okay, son. I'm sorry you lost your job. I'm sorry. You can have 4 months here though." Like even your parents is giving you time limits now. That's what I'm saying about America. I'm saying all of that. America, okay, well you fine, you can be all welcoming and all of that stuff and cool, but you gonna have to give somebody some time limits because these immigrants are acting like the children who move back in with their parents and never move out. They move back in with their parents and you always see them in the refrigerator. They drinking out the gallon. They putting the empty gallon back in the refrigerator. They never washing the dishes. These are those, okay? They got popcorn all in the couch when they sitting up there eating the movies off popcorn you bought. They coming in and out the house in the middle of the night, waking you up into sleep. You got to get up and go to work so you can pay for the bills that they ain't paying for. And then they come in there and tell you that they don't plan on moving. This is America as the parent to the immigrants. So I'm saying we got to reevaluate all of what we doing. If we can allow anybody to come in, which as of right now, I think needs to be a total pause. But for future references, let's say America, because I don't think indefinitely America is never going to allow anybody else over here. So being realistic, if there were refugees to come over to America, we're going to have to put some regulations. There's got to be, okay, well, you're coming over here. There's a curfew. Okay, I need you in the house by 10 o'clock. On the weekends, you can stay out to 11. Okay, I'm going to need you to put some food on the fridge. I need these dishes washed. I need that bathroom clean. I don't want to hear no loud music. All right? And you got to be out in 6 months. See, that's what America needs to do. There needs to be a whole reevaluation of this whole immigrant process because I'm in Chicago. I'm trying to tell you that whole asylum seeker thing is a finesse. These are bums coming over here and finessing, eating, like they eating off their parents. They're spoiled, bratty, entitled, complaining children who are bums. They have the mentality. Now, I'm not even going to call them children. It's worse than that. They're adults with a child's mentality, with a spoiled, entitled child mentality. And I'm saying that we don't have to deal with that anymore. I'm saying all of that little refugee finesse where y'all come over and then y'all get an anchor baby dropped off and then y'all don't want to go nowhere. Oh, that's over with. All this squatting is over with. All this exploitation is over with. All this that's over with. Don't be all like, "But Dad, I'm your son. I love you, son, but you're a grown man now. We're gonna have to be like that." You know how in the movies when the dad is kicking him out, like, Dad, you can't kick me out. You can't do this. Well, I'm sorry, son. This is the only way to teach you some responsibility. You've been doing this for 2. You don't have a job. You're not in school. You sit in the house playing video games all day. I can't take it anymore. You gotta go, man. And then the son like, Mom and Dad's kicking me out. And then the mom be all like, well, honey, I mean, you are. No. Sarah, don't do that. You're babying him. You know how they do in the movies? You know how they do in the movies? Stop, Sarah. See, that's his problem now. Okay, you treat him like a baby. Stop doing it. You're not a baby anymore, Junior. No, you gotta go. I gave you the 6 months. Okay? Now I'm sick of your nonsense. You gotta go. I don't care where you go. Call one of your little friends that you be bringing in and out the house, eating all my food in the refrigerator. But you gotta get out of here. I love you though. I do love. Let me give you a hug before I kick you out my house, and then they'll give you a hug. I'll give you a hug. I will see. Are you coming for Thanksgiving? I mean, you're still invited. You're still a part of the family, son. You just can't live here anymore. I just can't do it. Can't do it. Gotta go. All right, and lock the door. Hold on. Wait, son. Wait. Come back. Come back. I need that spare key. Give me that spare key real quick. All right. Thank you. I love you though. That's how we gotta be. Tough love, baby. Tough love. We gotta kick them out. Otherwise, they're gonna be bums forever, eating up all our food. This $1 billion worth of welfare scams, that's $1 billion that can be in my pocket. I ain't trying to have that. And then the stigma of them doing that is gonna fall back on me. So I'm not trying to have that at all. The stigma of all of these African scams falls back on us. I'm not trying to do that at all. So you gotta go. Tough love. Tough love. That's you gotta go. All of these scams, it's over with. Talk about it. Come on now. Let me get to the other super chats. Let me see. Dakota Jenkins says, me no Somali, me FBA. It's not our problem. It's not. It's not our problem. We're not gonna act like it is. FBA Justice says, I chose them. It's I chose them, and it's outside indefinitely. Oh yeah, the whole in and out. It ain't no more in and out now. It ain't no more in and out. We ain't gonna lie about that. Okay. Omar says the ancestors are speaking. Let it play out. Let it all play out. They're gonna be all right. They're gonna be all right. I know some people got some warm and open hearts, and they wear their hearts on their sleeves. They're gonna be okay. They're gonna be okay. I'm FBA. When it comes to these tethers, I have ice, cooling, running cold in my veins. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Indefinite pause on all immigration and refugees. I agree. I agree. Like these spoiled brats coming in our refrigerator. I agree. Okay, April, I appreciate April. April says FBA delineation is working. That's true. And then oh, Darlene, I was about to say Daryl. I misread that. Darlene sends a super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, family. Thank you. But as far as this concerned, Iham Olmar, look, you should have led your people. I'm gonna tell you what you should have done. I mean, it's too late now, but let me tell you what you should have done anyway. You should have led your people to be better allied with foundational Black Americans. If your people, and I'm talking about the Somali community in Minnesota in particular, because that's where Minnesota has the biggest Somali community in the United States. So if the Somali, even if it was not all of y'all, but if it was enough and the ones who are on code were strong and they represented well and they were helpful with the cause, it would be a different story. But You all decided not to be allied with Foundation Black Americans. Okay. And now everybody right now is paying the price. You're paying the price now. What you expected was for free. Now the bill has come due. And the thing is that you don't have no credit. You don't have any credit. You know how a credit card works? When you start making good payments, when you're on time with your payments with your credit card, you have more and more credit you can use. That's how credit works, right? Imagine Foundation Black Americans being a credit card company. Just imagine that. Let me use this analogy. When we give you guys this credit, you're supposed to be good handling your credit. That means when you use it, you're supposed to pay your time, pay your bill on time. You know, when if you give this money to them, whatever the credit limit is, you're not supposed to go above your limit. You always stay below your limit. You got to pay your bill on time. And when you do that, you get good credit. And the more good credit that you get, the more you can use your credit. The bigger your credit is, the better your credit report is, all of this stuff. All right. But what has happened is that we have given you guys your credit cards and you guys have been maxing your credit card out. We give you like what, $1,000 limit. I'm talking about y'all got $2,000 maxed out on your credit card. You're not paying your credit card bill on time. And now when you need your credit card, we say, oh, you don't have the credit for this. As far as foundational Black American advocacy and as far as foundational Black American allyship, none of y'all have good credit. You guys are expecting the credit card to work at the time you need it to when y'all really need this credit card to work. I wish I had a card that I could use, but I don't right now, just to give you guys a visual of it. When y'all need y'all card, we're just gonna pretend. Oh, this is a card. It's a card right here. So it's fake. It's one of those like play card. When y'all need y'all card, I like y'all to see it. I'm a visual person. I would like y'all to see it. Okay, look at your screen. When you need this card to work, you put it in, the card don't get no credit because your credit score is bad. Your credit score is bad. You should have kept up with your credit. You should have paid your debts on time. You should have built a good coalition, built a good relationship. You decided not to. You maxed your credit card out, and now the credit don't. Now you don't got no good credit no more. No, nobody really does in the continent. No country in the continent. No country in West Africa. No group has good credit. The Hispanics are asking for a credit extension, declined. You got the Haitians asking for a credit extension, declined. The Jamaicans asking for a credit extension, declined. The Somalians asking for a credit extension, declined. It's just been declining after declining after declining after declining. Don't matter what it is. It was like, you know what? All right, we see it. We just been giving out credit, giving out credit, giving out credit. Nobody paying their bill on time. So, okay, all right. Everybody's declined. Everybody. Oh well, that's the bed you made. Now you gotta lie in it. That's what it is. That's what it is. Family, I appreciate y'all being here. We've been chopping it up. And I did tell you guys that I was gonna start doing short videos, right? They're short form videos. So expect that this weekend. So I am going to do the pre-recorded videos. I'm not going to say I'm going to do it on the weekends particularly. It might not be just on the weekends. I might do it Tuesdays. I might do it other days. But expect that, all right? Expect that to be coming up soon. So just letting you guys know, that's why it's important for you guys to hit your like button, for you guys to hit your subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed, now is your chance, and hit the notification bell, because there's still more subjects that I'd like to talk about. And I got something that I think you guys would really enjoy and really be interested in coming up for you all this weekend. I was actually kind of deciphering if I wanted to do that subject or this subject tonight. and I was kind of split. But I decided to go with this subject because the news kind of was just breaking with this subject. And but I do want to talk about, because I do think it's very important. I do want to talk about another subject in a pre-recorded video that I have coming up later this month, later this week. All right. So I need you guys to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and then be checking back in with us so you guys don't miss out. All right. Also, today is the day our good brother Fred Hampton was executed by the federal government and the Chicago Police Department. All right. So if we can do a solid for our brother, and let me pull a picture of him up real fast. Okay. I'm gonna use this picture, and this picture I like a lot. Let me get this picture up real fast. If we can put some black fist in the chat room for our brother Fred Hampton, I would greatly appreciate that. Where is it at? Where's it at? Share this instead. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like this. Okay. It's taking a minute to pull the picture up. I like this picture. All right. Now we got to remember Fred Hampton was only 21 years old when due to COINTELPRO, due to I'm sorry, y'all. Due to COINTELPRO, he was executed in his sleep. And that happened in 1969. He was 21. And this government, this twisted government, killed him in his sleep. He has a child today. Fred Hampton Jr. never met his father because his mother was pregnant with him when his father was killed by the police and killed by the FBI for doing nothing but helping black people, for standing up for black rights. He was actually standing up for everybody. Fred Hampton was actually trying to be a champion for everybody. But this is the system that we live in. And this is why I'm telling you all that what we're doing right now is not a joke. This is not a game. People really have lost their life because of this. We have children who grew up without their father in their life because of this. We have people whose life, or a lot of us here listening now, are older than 21 years old. We lived longer than Fred Hampton ever was able to. He was not able to live as long as we were. This is not a game. This is not a joke. So when we hear people talk about, I don't want to be black, I'm not black, and we think about the fact that it was black people like Fred Hampton who had to sacrifice to allow people to come over here, to even have the opportunity that they have, to have the refuge that they have. And they come over here talking about, well, you don't know who your father is. You don't know where your parents are from. A lot of y'all are children from welfare, and a lot of y'all are from one night stands. This is what makes it so disrespectful, because it wasn't just marching and protesting, it was actual real lives that were lost, that were completely destroyed, for people to come over here and disrespect us. And I want us all to understand that we're all one people here. So when they disrespect us, and when they disrespect our ancestry and our heritage and our lineage, they're disrespecting the entirety of it. Everything that was there before, everything that is here now, and everything that will be there in the future. That's a disrespect to Fred Hampton, his sacrifice, to Malcolm X, his sacrifice, to Dr. King, his sacrifice, Harriet Tubman, Ida B. Wells, Frederick Douglass, Mark Clark, who was actually murdered by the police on the same day in the same house. It's a disrespect to all of their sacrifice when somebody comes over here to tell you that they're better. and they have more culture. They fled over here off of the sacrifices that men of our community, of our culture, have sacrificed and laid for them. Ashada Shakur, another one. This is why we can't tolerate disrespect. We can't tolerate disrespect because good people, good men lost their lives for it. Good women lost their lives for it. If their life was not taken for them, it was completely destroyed. It was ruined. You have people today still in prison based off of things that the police lied about them just so they can dismantle the Black Panther Party. Today. You have children who've been destroyed today because of that. This is why all of this disrespect, that's going to stop. There's no games being played here. I'm very serious about that. We can joke and we can laugh and we can talk about y'all got a big head and y'all got this, y'all got that. Y'all don't have a Fred Hampton. There's nobody out there in your country who is laying down their life, who is knowing. Now, Fred Hampton kept on doing that even though he knew he was targeted, even though he knew what the enemy was going to do. And it was a willing sacrifice for the greater good. We don't have nobody in your community who's doing that on anybody else's behalf but your own. And you barely have people of your own community who's doing that for their community. You don't have people who's laying down their life for you. You don't have people who's doing that. We have people who've laid their life down, who've completely sacrificed their life, not only for our community, but for everybody to benefit from. And you're coming over here and you're telling us that you don't even like us, that you look down on us. There's nothing to look down on. You don't have a tenth of what we have, the honorability, the moral righteousness. Fred Hampton is one of the champions that gives us the moral righteousness that we have today. They don't have one of those. You can't name the Fred Hampton of Somalia. You can't. Where is the Arab Fred Hampton? Where's the Somali Fred Hampton? Where's the African Fred Hampton? That's what I want to know. Why you talking about your culture, your culture, your culture? Who do you have in your culture that's like this, that's laid their life down? But you want to come over here and talk about us. This is why all that disrespect stuff is not tolerated. It cannot be tolerated. Okay? Because they echo the sentiments and the narratives of white supremacists. These are the same white supremacists that said that the Black Panther Party were criminals, that said that the Black Panther Party shot at them first. These are the same criminals who falsely locked them up and falsely incarcerated people. And we have people who want us to sacrifice for them, but they echo the same sentiments of the oppressor. They echo the same sentiments of the enemy. And we're saying that's enough. That's enough. We're done with it. It's over. Save yourselves. We're focused on saving ourselves. You shouldn't have made that bet. You picked the wrong team. But oh well. You picked the wrong team. Once again, rest in peace to our good brother Fred Hampton Jr. Thank you for all of the work you've done, brother. We got the mission now. Now, family, I appreciate y'all for being here with us this evening. Thank you all so much. Like I said, make sure that you guys tune in so you guys don't miss the recorded video that I have coming up next week. This week. That I have coming up this week. So y'all don't want to miss out on that. With that being said, Black First as always, and of course, you all stay blessed.